We've got to do the Wayne's World thing. 5, 4, 3.
We're back, baby.
Hello.
New chart, same presenters. So it's your boy Golden Espresso Pump here, joined by Alex the Brain Evans, as the Cacophony Sessions delves into what's popping in the UK top 10 for the week of the 10th of May 2024. Alex, how are conditions looking for flying today?
Conditions are very good for flying.
It's sunny, basically.
It's very sunny, so if I start getting bright red and sweaty in this room, I do apologise. I've had to keep the windows shut because my neighbours like to be very loud. So, yeah, it's going to be nice and hot in here. That's good, though, because the charts are red hot too.
Ooh, yeah. You've been up to much since we last had one of these?
Yeah, I went to a local festival down in Devon, or Cornwall, Rattler Fest, where you drink Rattler cider and listen to a lot of B to C tier artists. It was quite good. My highlight of the weekend was a Blink-182 cover band called Blonk 182. And I'm losing a battle with the other half to get them to play at my wedding. So I'm really bummed out by it. I actually went to a bar yesterday to check out a band called The Sound. It was basically check out wedding bands at the moment. That's the only real input I have in this wedding. By choice, to be fair. Yeah, they were a bit crap, so that was not crap. They just played music I don't particularly enjoy. All I want, apparently, is just a pop-punk covers band who do the odd emo song, and I'm completely happy. And then the DJs can take over all my female vocal Zumba music I enjoy. So that's the plan, really. But yeah, they're getting smashed in the field. I watched the Zootons. They played. And,
they're still going.
Yeah, I don't know. And it turns out I don't like the Zootons.
I was never a big fan.
Well, I was watching them, and to be fair, I was pretty smashed, and I was probably annoying the guy in front of me because he did like Zootons. But those guys cannot construct a bloody chorus to save their life. Like any time it's going, right, here it comes. Nothing. It's just, they played well.
Kaiser Chiefs School of Writing indie choruses, I think.
Oh, I love Kaiser Chiefs. Weirdly, speaking of indie, I went down a bit more of a YouTube rabbit hole yesterday. Do you remember that? No one remembers them. There was an indie band called the Metros, and it was like they had a single called Education Part 2.
I don't remember.
And for some reason, I've always really liked that song. I just remembered it last night. And I went down they're only a band for like 3 years because obviously they caught the indie wave, so they got signed and they were probably on music television for a little bit. But they caught the wave, but then they broke up after 3 years because obviously no one cared about them. But I did. They were pretty good. So if you haven't heard of them, listen to them. They're pretty cool. It's like a cross between indie and punk, and I like it. That's what I was doing yesterday. Other than that, not really anything new to report. I'm still building my Warhammer army because I'm cool.
And why lizards? Why? Or should I say, how lizards? How?
Oh, my band, Why Lizards Why? Check out the Facebook page. Why Lizards, why? We had a band practice yesterday. It went all right. Actually, we haven't had one in about a month because it's just a nightmare getting 3 people in a room together. We're finally at a point now where we've got all the lyrics written, all the music written, and we're just running through the set. So it's that kind of month or two period where you just get good at the songs you've written, which we are a bit ropey at the moment. But yeah, soon we'll be gig ready. And hopefully we'll have some recordings down the line at some point for the legions of fans that want to know what I've been up to.
I've been shooting Foreign Voices in Bristol, so you can see Fear and Loathing Up the M5, which I've just released on the channel. So hopefully we can make something to do with Why Lizards Why in a similar capacity going forward.
That'd be cool.
Also, we've got several videos coming. One's in the bag with Dr. Funk, so there's 20 years of musicology to talk about soon. That'll be up this week. I haven't been to many gigs yet this year, other than the Foreign Voices gig that you can see on the channel. I am going to see Sting next month on the Ho.
Sting?
Yep, I'm going to see Sting. I'm not sure what the police presence will be like, but if they can get back together on stage, then that'll be fantastic. I've also got tickets with Martin. We're going to see LCD Sound System in Bristol at a festival called Forwards. So LCD Sound System be ticked off the list. And Jessie Ware is also playing, so I get to see her again, which is fantastic. Other than that, myself, I haven't really been doing a lot, but enjoying the weather, going outside considerably more than I had done in the first part of the year because it's been cold and miserable and I've got no reason to go outside.
I can tell you're rocking a real brown tan there. You must be out all the time. You can only out. It's like I went to the corner shop twice that week.
Walking from my house, the 15-minute walk to the gym, that counts as going outside. And that happens twice as well because you have to walk back again. So that's 2 journeys in one day. I'm classing that anyway.
So brave.
Yeah.
I was listening to a podcast. Apparently there's a new wave on TikTok. I've been going for a massive Shane Gillis comedian fan at the moment, but they were talking on their podcast about how apparently a new thing on TikTok was just jacked Christians. And I find that absolutely hilarious. Who are like lifting for God. It's just the best beat ever. Yeah, they're like getting swole for God. And that's just something I find about that concept incredibly funny.
That is great.
And endearing. I'm like, yeah, you go, bros.
Get your reps in for Jesus.
Oh, that's what you should. You should become a complete evangelist Christian and just like make TikTok videos whilst lifting.
I ain't lifting for Jesus. I ain't lifting for nobody. But
I lift my Lord and Savior.
Make sure you check out all our other videos. You can follow us on Threads. Go follow us on Threads. We've only got like 6 followers, and I keep forgetting we actually have a Threads page. Go follow us on Instagram, Facebook, on X as well. Go to cacophonisessions.com for the other videos that we got coming out on the channel, as I mentioned. Anything else we want to get out of the way before we get into the nitty-gritty?
No, not really. I think we're ready to go. We're locked and loaded.
Before we do, I think we'll try and find our appropriate bell end faces for the thumbnails. I'll let you go first this time, Al. What would you say is your face to sum up the chart this week?
So I'll do the sex doll.
Always a popular one.
See, that's quite similar to my last one.
I think we're going to run the risk of just doing the same bit every single week here. But hey, the more you do it, the funnier it gets.
All right, I'll just say then the deep thought.
The deep thought. I think I'm going to go for the whole Drake meme. You got and then you've got I think this one.
Okay, I like it. It's very topical.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, we'll get into number 10, because number 10 is a new entry and it's by an artist that I love. This one needs no introduction, because if you've been following the hip hop beef that's been going on, a new entry in at number 10 for Kendrick Lamar with Not Like Us. This was not the final song in the beef, because Drake did issue a further retort to this, but it's the only one who's charted. So I think we can safely say who the winner of this beef is. And this is the kind of West Coast club banger, Victory Lap Dance, after Kendrick Lamar had pretty much already won with the song Meet the Grahams, which was itself a response to Drake's Family Matters. And in this one, he's not pulling any punches, is he? Certified lover boy.
No.
Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Kendrick Lamar really takes him to task on this one, accusing him of sexual abuse of minors, or a minor.
Oh God, that's okay. As a guy who doesn't listen to like modern hip hop that much, despite liking a fair bit, I've been surprised. You may need to give me a quick bullet point thing of what's going on, and maybe some listeners don't know. So, what is the beef then? What is the issue?
On a track on Drake's album last year for All the Dogs, he had a track with J. Cole, which was called First Person Shooter. And in that song, J. Cole mentions that they're part of the big 3. And then this year, on a Metro Boomin and Future track called Like That, Kendrick Lamar did a guest verse where he said, it's not the big 3, it's just Big Me. So he started the beef there. Now, J. Cole issued a silly response and then ducked out and said that it was the lamest thing he's ever done and wants no part in it. So he's retired from the beef. But Drake started issuing responses. So they've gone back.
I bet he wish he dipped out then.
Yeah, they've gone back and forth, and Drake's main point of contention with Kendrick Lamar seems to be that he's short. And hey, there's nothing wrong with short people, okay? Us short kings, we must band together and stand against this prejudice. But anyway,
short people tend to live longer, so just go with that.
In terms of hip-hop longevity, I think Kendrick Lamar may have proved that in this case, because, Drake's responses, we've got some good material out of Drake in this. Family Matters is actually quite a good song, but it's been back and forth. The response to Family Matters was Meet the Grahams, in which Kendrick Lamar writes it from the perspective of writing a letter to each of his family members, and subsequently he implied that Drake has a second love child. Now, the first love child was revealed in 2018 when Pusha T revealed on a song called A Story of Adidon that Drake has a secret love child called Adonis. Now, Kendrick Lamar has implied that there is a second love child who's older that we don't know about. We don't know if any of this is true, obviously, as well as the allegations of being interested in 17-year-olds. We don't know if that's true either. But Drake seems to be just doing a no, you are kind of response. I know you are, said you are, but what am I kind of thing. And yeah, the response from Kendrick Lamar when he did Meet the Grahams, it's this slow burning, deep, it's a real deep burn that gets at the family. And then instantly dropped another track, which is this one, Not Like Us, which is, as I say, the club banger. It's catchy as hell. It's got so many good lines in it. And yeah, it's great that it's in the top 10 because it just shows how accessible as a track Kendrick is capable of making, with DJ Mustard on the beat here. It's really good. But yeah, it's at the stage now. I think Drake did respond, but this is over. I don't think anybody's really thinking that this can go much further because it is getting a little bit silly. If you're going to levy these kinds of allegations, then I think you need receipts to back it up.
So there is no proof for any of this then? It's just one guy's word?
Yeah, it is just one guy's word. And Drake, of course, has said that this was a self-own for me in his final word, because he said that he's got people in his camp who leaked this information to Kendrick Lamar knowing that it was false. But also at the same time, Drake in his song says that the people that Kendrick's speaking to are clowns. So which one is it? Has he got traitors who are clowns, or has he got people that he's purposely misinforming Kendrick Lamar with? So I don't know. But also, why would you run the risk of spreading information about yourself knowing that it's false just for a laugh? That doesn't sound like the kind of thing we do.
Isn't the sort of thing you spread, either as a laugh or to get clicks or anything. This is wild, isn't it?
Yeah, and Drake saying things like, I'm too famous to be a paedophile. Have you not heard of Jimmy Savile? Have you not heard of Jeffrey Epstein? In fact, he has heard of
Elvis.
Yeah, that's not really a defense. It's almost like the kind of thing Donald Trump's going to try in court when that all gets up and running. It's, I'm too famous to be a criminal. No, it doesn't work like that.
The problem is, it's been well publicized amongst us anyway, how much I despise Drake's music. Except start from the bottom. That is a banger.
Oh, he's got lots of bangers.
I don't think this will kill him because, like you say, there's no proof, and it's just. Yeah. And yeah, this is hardly Ian Watkins level, even though it was true, is it? I don't get me wrong, he's still not cool, but there's degrees to this stuff, isn't there? This isn't R. Kelly level.
No, well, unless obviously something comes out, because the cover of the single is a picture of Drake's house via Google Maps.
I've seen this
with kind of the things that they would use to denote a child predator in the area. And there's several of those tags in the embassy compound in Toronto. And it's just, he's gone full blown with these accusations. And it just seems a bit silly if nothing's going to come of it, which I don't think it will, unless somebody comes out and says, yeah, this did happen. Then it's going to be one of those moments where the beef ended in a weird manner, but we got some absolute tunes out of it. This is an undeniable banger for me.
I mean, I like the flow on this song. The chorus it's quite simple, but it's got a hook to it, isn't it? Some of those lines, man. Hide your little sister. Like, Jesus, like Christ, he's a savage. He isn't putting it, but he isn't being coy about it, is he? He isn't being like,
no.
There's no metaphors in here. It's just, even it's like, to say the word pedophile in the song, that's just, even for me, I'm like, fuck, this guy is, ooh. Wow, there's some accusations. This song's got how many million views? It's like, just on YouTube, I've got it here. It's got almost 35 million views in 7 days. That's a lot of people liking a song about you being a paedophile.
Yeah. That's the kind of thing that doesn't go away very easily. Yeah, it's the biggest hip hop song of 2024 already. Because I was looking at an article and there was no Billboard #1 that was a hip hop track last year. So a lot of people have said that, especially in America, hip hop looks like it's falling off a little bit. But I think this track shows that it is alive and well. So at the very least, we've had some interesting back and forths between two of the biggest names in hip hop. And yeah, 3 if you want to count what J. Cole did a little bit. And I quite like J. Cole. I've actually gone and listened to some of his material. So I think this beef whilst it's been a little bit strange and a bit uncomfortable, it's been good for hip hop because it certainly made me discover more about J. Cole. We got some good Drake tracks out of it and some absolute bangers from Kendrick. And I think Kendrick's going to drop another album as well this year. So it looks like it's gearing up that way, which will be good.
I mean, this is the perfect platform to launch a new album off, isn't it? To be fair,
yeah.
I tell you what is up with hip hop people at the moment? Isn't P. Diddy in giant trouble as well now?
Yes, that's all coming to a head. He's been accused of multiple accounts of sex trafficking and all sorts of things.
He's been R. Kelly this entire time. Isn't there loads of stuff with loads of apparently he's gay? That's cool. But when there's loads of stuff coming out about him, and like, I swear, it's like does money and fame just make people crazy over 30 years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, the P. Diddy stuff is I haven't seen, because obviously it's not been in court or anything yet, so we don't know all the details, but some of the rumors about like how he's been getting away with this for 30 years and it's essentially just like a sex trafficking ring that he's been operating. It's absolutely crazy, but yeah. I never really liked P. Diddy. He's always given me bad vibes. Even that episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia that he's in, he just seems so out of place. It's really strange.
Did he? I can't remember him in that episode. I've watched all of It's Always Sunny as well. I should remember that. I know. I kind of like. I like that song "Hate Me Now." That was pretty good. And obviously,
he's got a couple of bangers. Yeah, he's got
and all with what's it?
Obviously, there's more money, more problems with Notorious B.I.G. That kind of thing with Mace, where he broke through really, and then obviously Biggie died in the end.
Oh, that's easily his best song though. With Faith Hill, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a good song. It is a good song, but I think maybe because when we were young, that was when we were about 10, that was like a massive exposure to hip hop for us. 95, 96, 97 was the first time I really remember hip hop, and that was the big thing at the time. So yeah, I've got a bit of nostalgia for that tune. But yeah, I never really thought P. Diddy was all that good. But Kendrick Lamar, yes.
Yeah, it sounds good actually.
Yeah, and Drake. So Kendrick Lamar normally prepares for his albums by releasing a single called "The Heart." Before we had Miss Morale and the Big Steppers, we had a single called "The Heart Part 5," which is actually one of my favorite Kendrick Lamar tracks ever. But Drake, of course, has released a single called "The Heart Part 6" to try and take some of the wind out of Kendrick's sails. But yeah, "The Heart Part 6" is not great, and he does this monologue at the end saying, "It's over. We had fun. This was good exercise." So yeah, the beef looks like it's over, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Drake's claimed it's over, but if I was Drake now, I would totally just be like, even if none of it's true, and it sucks that these accusations go around. If it's not true, I don't know, obviously. But even if it's true, even if they're true or if they weren't true, if you were Drake, you'd be like, I'm not touching this with a 10-foot barge pole. There's a track on there. I don't know why it's accusing me of this. You just wouldn't talk about it. Just leave it. Just let it die. Just wait a news cycle and it might go away. That's all I do.
Yeah, or just hope something big happens to distract from everybody else.
So like this song like this, it slaps so hard. You kind of hope it was crap, wouldn't you? You kind of hope it was just shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Drake's hoping.
Oh man. But yeah, overall, man, this song's good. Kendrick, the guy can rap, and some of these lines are just savage. The chorus is really catchy. I love the beats actually. It just reminds me of old school rap again. Like this, I think this is the longest song on the chart by almost like double the length.
Yeah,
like, I couldn't believe how some of these songs are. It was just nice to have a song with a lot of time in the verses, and obviously the content is pretty epic when it comes to cringe. Oh, damn. I don't know how another human being makes a song about another human being like this. I'm surprised Kendrick has the balls to do it. He's just like, I'm not touching anything related to this.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar must have needed a shower after writing this, especially because he delivered it so quickly after it was all going on as well. So he clearly, he either written the response within a few hours, or he'd had all this information locked and loaded, ready to go for a rainy day. Wow. Yeah, it's a bit of a banging start to the top 10. And you mentioned the length. I think it's one of the only ones that wasn't written for TikTok clicks, because it was written to just be delivered on YouTube and actually stand as a piece of art that serves a purpose and has a meaning. So, yeah.
I feel like I'm completely underestimated how much that's a thing when it comes to I don't go on TikTok. I refuse to start it because I know my dopamine receptors are already buggered from just being online all the time anyway. That I'm like, the last thing I need is to have 10-second dopamine hits and just ruin my attention span on here. So I refuse to go on it. YouTube Shorts have managed to get me though, which is annoying me. So I need to try and wean myself off doing that crap as well.
Yeah.
But every YouTube comments, I recently canceled my Apple Music because I couldn't figure out my username and I had it through a wobbly. So I listened to all these songs on YouTube. And every first comment for most of these songs was just like, I came here. Did anyone come here from TikTok? So apparently TikTok is just the place to break songs now. I'm 36. I already feel like I'm the oldest man ever. What is TikTok? Explain it to, you know what I mean? Like,
we'll move on to number 9. Number 9 is another American artist, and this one's been on the chart for 11 weeks. It peaked at number 7. And this is Dasher with country song Austin, which I've heard quite a bit on TikTok or used in clips here and there. That hook does stay with you. But I think this is very much a result of the popularity of Beyonce's country album in this country now, because it seems like the US country acts have started to invade the UK, which is a little bit disconcerting to see. This song's all right. It's catchy. Will I ever listen to it again? No.
Okay, it's catchy enough. I'm at a point now where I don't understand the difference between normal pop and country music. I don't get it. It's just the lyrical content, isn't it? She really did tick all the boxes for some country music. Talking about, your truck's broken down, drinking whiskey at the bar. And it's so amazingly stereotypical, but it's not bad. I found the song pleasant enough. It's quite short. It goes away before it gets too much. Yeah. I would never choose to listen to this. But it's just an average sort of pop song about heartache and someone being left, but in a country manner. The music video is a bit cringe. They actually start line dancing. I'm just like, ugh. No. But yeah, I didn't really know what to say about this. Honestly, it's just a country pop song, and people apparently really like that.
Yeah, it's really not aimed at us at all. It's fine. I don't know much about Dasher, and yeah, it's non-offensive. Bit cliche. It seems to be overwritten a little bit, and it's just, as you mentioned, as you say, it's got every single country music lyrical cliche in there. It sounds just like you'd expect a pop country song to sound. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. We're gonna need to have a look at our thumb rating system, I think, because we need more than just a thumbs up, thumbs down, and a none thumb. The Kendrick thumb was very much thumb.
Oh yeah, of course. I was going to mention we have thumbs up Kendrick. That was a good one. Anyone that slacks off Drake, I'm happy about. But this, I'm going to be honest, this one here gets a down for me. I'm going to down about this song. It's just, like you say, it's not for me. It's perfectly fine, but that's not enough for me. I would never listen to this again.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those where I don't really like the genre of music enough for it to carry it. Whilst I do think that there are catchy aspects of it, there's nothing that sounds bad. It's just a thumbs down. Yeah.
I will say, actually, there are 3 songs in this list that are name dropping whiskey. Hey, you drink whiskey, and the other one's, I was drinking whiskey. And is there like a whiskey company's paying artists now to just name drop whiskey? Is that the cool drink?
Yeah, 100% that's happening, especially as the summer comes. Their brands are keen to get all their promo in the lyrics ready for Jack Daniels and Hennessy sales to absolutely blow up over the summer.
It's definitely more American artists. I don't think I've ever seen a 20-year-old girl ever order a whiskey in any pub ever. So they need to do it. Yeah, I like a whiskey and Coke, but yeah, they need to do something because the prices must be, those sales numbers must be dropping.
Whiskey's not going to have a massive surge in sales around Freshers Week, is it? It's not a young person's drink.
No, but it is now. It will be
any now. But yeah, it's all right. It's probably one of those that's going to be in the charts for ages. So get prepared to hear us know nothing about it for weeks and weeks.
It's just to be car radio following on this. I find this. I always start off not really caring, not minding a song, and then once it's on the radio for a month, I just start. That's when the hatred really settles in.
Yeah, we'll move on because in 8th position is another song that we've actually already talked about the last time we did one of these. It's been on the chart for 27 weeks now, and it peaked at number 2. Last week it was at number 7. So it's staying around the same place. But it is a good song. And it's Lose Control by Teddy Swims, which we've already talked about. There's not really a lot I can add.
Guys, have a good voice, good song.
Yeah, voice.
Kind of it.
Couple of things I was looking at. Firstly, my partner Kat, she's been playing this on piano quite a lot. So I've heard it just via osmosis walking around the flat. And it's grown on me. The hook is strong. So even though I liked it before, I would... This is a firm thumbs up for me now. If it wasn't before, it's definitely a firm one now. And I had a look into Teddy Swims. I know he's been popular for a while, a few years. And I applaud anybody who goes out there and tries to make it by appearing on James Corden in America. Because if you can be successful despite having stood next to James Corden on television, then I think that's a talent in itself. Well done, Teddy Swims. You've impressed me even further.
Is James Corden like the new Bono where everyone dislikes him?
Oh, the new Bono. How do we know James Corden isn't just Bono in a padded suit with a wig?
I've never seen him in the same room at the same time.
Have we seen Bono? Oh, my God. Don't say that, because James Corden and Bono will do carpool karaoke, and it will be, that
would be good.
Yeah. Would you be able to hear the car exhaust over the sound of the smugness emanating from that cockpit?
I'll never go over that South Park episode. Don't you get it? He is shit.
Is it the Qubit rating or the Qubit scale or something like that, where it's the biggest turd in the universe?
I can't remember the actual unit now. It's
something like the Qubit scale or something like that.
So funny.
But yeah, Teddy Swims is still doggy paddling.
Yeah, we liked it last week. We like it this week. That's it.
Exactly.
It's good. It's standing the test for time. I've had it work on the radio 1,000 times, and it's getting a little there for me. Just to be like, okay, he's lost control. I get it now. But that's more a testament to how long stuff stays in the charts rather than anything else.
You're right. If it can withstand like public airings all the time and it's still an enjoyable listen, then it's doing fine. So yeah, keep it up.
That Harry Styles one is still going, and that's still just about listenable for me, but it's getting there as well.
Yeah, I haven't listened to that in a long time. I haven't it hasn't come on shuffle. I haven't put it on, so it's been a while since I've heard it as it was. I could probably listen to it now and not be repulsed. This one's not close to that for me yet. It's doing fine. So we'll move on to 7th place. This one's a relatively new entry into the chart. It's only been around for 2 weeks. It's peaked at number 7. Last week was at number 31, so it's done pretty well in the last week or so. This one is Tommy Richman with $1 Million Baby. I wasn't sure what to expect from this. I've not heard of Tommy Richman before.
No,
he's a rising TikTok rapper, apparently. And I was blown away by this. I thought it was really good. It's Southern trap with falsetto. It's got those late 80s Roland 909 kit sounds on it. It's interesting. It's a bit like a trap song if it was sang without the auto tune. The delivery's quirky. The beat is bouncy and fun. I really like this. This is getting.
I'm with you on this. I can't agree with everything. To be honest, the second I was listening to this earlier today, and the second the guy comes in singing, but he's doing a little bit high pitched like Prince.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, right, that's it. Whittle's in.
I am in.
But yeah, this song, I really enjoyed this. I found, because I watched the lyric video on YouTube, and without that, I think you'd struggle on the chorus a bit. I think, because he's kind of like this, isn't it? Yeah, and it's quite low in the mix as well. So you have to, part of me had to squint just to listen to hear what was going on. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty banging, actually. It's quite original. I haven't really heard much like it.
Yeah, I couldn't really work out what I'd listened to before that really sounded like this, because you've got those trap elements in there. Yeah. But in terms of the mix, it sounds different. It's got more of a electro funk sound to it. It's got very early 90s feel, but at the same time, it's quite 80s in its production. And yeah, like you say, vocally, it's just different. He's not using a lot of auto-tune. It doesn't sound like Post Malone, for instance. He's using techniques similar to maybe what Childish Gambino or some of the alternative R&B artists are doing. But it doesn't sound like that either, because it's not so cold. The production on the vocals is not so cold. It's a very busy song. There's a lot going on. There's not that much space in it. and it's very short as well. You can tell it's been designed for TikTok. But as I say, I really like this. I'm interested to see. He's an American rapper. I'm interested to see what he does next. I will listen.
Solid thumbs up for me. Just for what I said, like, I've not heard any like rap like this, and yeah, it's just good. I can't really add too much to what you say because it's pretty much spot on. What I can add to is, like you said, it's 2 minutes 30 and it's made for TikTok. I have noticed, even from last week, do you remember back in the day, like the average song would be 3 minutes 30, like 3.5 minutes. That was like the benchmark of a pop song. They've just knocked a minute off, haven't they? Over the last 10 years, a minute has just been lost. Apparently, which, to be fair, when you're doing a podcast like this, you got to listen to a lot of them. It's not, I don't mind.
Oh, it's useful, yeah.
But I do wish them, because at the moment, it seems to be a lot of songs now, just be verse, chorus, end.
End, or chorus to fade,
Yeah, but back in the day, there'd be more than just verse chorus. There'd be like interludes that would do something, or like a different bridge that mix the songs up a bit. But these songs don't have them anymore. It's like they've literally just cut every level of fat off all these songs and gone, look, we know what people want. They want the good chorus and they want a pretty catchy verse to pretty much justify having the chorus. And that is it. And I'm okay with it. I don't mind.
Yeah.
It's just a bit of a weird transition.
Somebody called Fox Mulder, because we've lost a minute of time over the last sort of 10 years in pop music. Been an observable kind of phenomenon, really. You can see how pop music has got shorter and shorter. It's strange because it started off in sort of the 50s and 60s as 2 to 3 minutes, and then got longer by a minute or so, and it seems to it's gone back the other way. So I don't know, maybe it goes in peaks and troughs. Maybe it'll get longer again, but I don't think so. Not with everything being monetized in click culture and getting as many instant gratification dopamine hits, just designing your music to be shorter and instantly engaging. And that seems to be how it's going. So I can't see how it's going to go back the other way, but be nice to, because I do miss a good bridge is often the best part of a song. I was listening to Coheed and Cambria the other day, and as you say, they've got excellent bridges. I wouldn't go as far as say they're the best bridges in music, but they've got some good bridges. Bring back the bridge.
Come on, you got some brownie points from me for listening to Coheed and Cambria. I've got to
I was
actually
listening
say,
at the drive-in as well. At the drive-in.
Oh man, Stations of Command, I think the album's called. That's one of the best albums. That's so good.
It was last night. It just came up on shuffle. I hadn't listened to it in a while, but One Armed Scissor came on. So yeah.
Oh yeah, my favorite song on the album's Quarantine. But yeah, it's pretty good. I've got to also add. You mentioned Fox Mulder. Are we getting old? Is that a reference now, which is lost on a lot of people?
I hope not.
I think it is. I think if there's no way, if you're like 16 now, you have any idea who Fox Mulder is.
Oh man, that's sad. That's really sad. I've started an X-Files watch again. I start it every year and see how far I get. I'm on season 2. I've just watched Scully get abducted by Dwayne Barry, which is where it starts to get really good, actually. It's a great TV show. If you haven't seen the X-Files, please go and watch it. Yeah, I think David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson are excellent, and I don't think there's ever been better chemistry on telly.
We watched it when we were quite young, so the nostalgia really is there for us. So it can be a bit bad. We still love it. You don't realize when you rewatch it at an older age, you don't realize just how random Fox Mulder was.
Oh
it's not like he goes. Let's say he thinks there's a werewolf in a town. He won't be like, oh, there's a guy who's been eaten. There's claw marks all over him, and weirdly a belt and clothing around him. He doesn't like follow that and they go, it must be a werewolf. He'll be like, there's some blood on the corpse. Werewolf. So the whole time, Scully is completely justified in going, you are completely insane. I don't know.
It's like he has the Witcher senses that Geralt of Rivia has. They never explained how he just knows what it's going to be. Yeah. Great show. Watch it, X-Files.
Yes,
we'll move on. Yeah. Number 6. This one's been on a chart for 7 weeks. Last week it was number 5. Peaked at number 3, so been around for a while. This one is he's not totally English. He's English Cypriot, but the only English artist in the chart again. It seems to be a common theme. This one is Artemis, and I Like the Way You Kiss Me. And this one's quite good. I quite like it.
By far my favourite song in the top 10.
It's not my favourite, but I like it.
Absolutely love this song. Unfortunately, it hits the exact things I like about dance music. This is jumper music all the way through. And I think the song slaps so hard. Are we still doing undeniable bangers? I would totally put this forward, but For me, this is undeniable. This song absolutely rips.
I've only heard it about 3 times in the course of listening to this since looking at the chart on Friday night. So I couldn't classify it as an undeniable banger yet, but it's growing on me. If it's in the chart next time, we'll maybe try again. But I like it. It's classed as, it's almost like hyper pop, but it's classified as pop, but it's got new wave and post punk elements in there. There's almost like that Peter Hook style New Order bass in there. It's got, it reminds me of the late 70s, early 80s new wave tracks. Bits of post punk in there, mainly in the rhythm. But the singing is strange because there's all these different tones. There's a really high pitched falsetto. I thought it was a female vocalist at first, but
it kind of has that hint of Scooter, the Logical song, when it comes to the actual vocals, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it might be pitched up and sped up. Yeah, if he can sing like that naturally, then that would be impressive. But yeah, I think it's a bit of witchcraft. A bit of production witchcraft that's making them sound like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I like this.
This is, for me, this is a dance floor filler. This is, if I was drunk at the club, you will see my terrible dancing being thrown down. This will be a make a scene sort of song.
He's had a couple of albums out, and he's only had one other UK single, which is If You Think I'm Pretty, which is from the album that only came out a few months ago in 2023, but already there's a new single for 2024, so presumably there's a new album coming. I might check him out and see what else the other material sounds like, because this is good and I like it.
I might have to give him a go, actually, because I do like this. I'm a bit of a metal sort of rock punk guy. That's what I kind of like, but I just have such an overwhelming open door to any sort of dance music, which has with just high-pitched female vocals or whatever these vocals are, with a catchy chorus. There's something in my DNA that just makes me absolutely love it. And
the technical term is you're a basic bitch. Oh,
so I'm a basic bitch for a while. I look like a new term. This is some hyper pop, and I like that.
Yeah, hyper pop is great. That's 100 gex. It's basically where the idea of a catchy chorus is the only thing that matters in the song. So it's just a constant attempt to swing from really catchy bit to really catchy bit, no matter how much they clash. So I love that kind of stuff. And it's good to see in the charts. And yeah, as like with Tommy Richman, there's some tracks that are showing that there is new sounding music out that's not just derivative of things that have gone before. And whereas there may be influences by older styles of music, they're taking it in new and interesting directions, which is good. I like this. This is what the chart should be.
I actually completely disgusted my girlfriend because I was in the kitchen doing the dishes whilst doing this, and she walked through, and I was like, "You have to listen to this." And I was doing the Jersey Shore fist pumping to it. She was looking at me just like, I thought, like, well, you like the most random shit, and I'm just like, "Yes, I do."
Yes, and we like to talk about it with the world. We'll move on. So it's a double thumber, that one.
Oh man, I love the song.
But I'm not giving it undeniable banger status just yet because I haven't listened to it enough to love it. And we've got to be protective of that list. Got to be protective of it. In 5th place, this is a former number 1 and a song that's been around for a few weeks now. This one is from Taylor Swift's album, The Tortured Poets Department, the first single from it, and it features Post Malone. It's Fortnight. I've listened to this album several times. I've listened to it 3 times. I listened to it once, the full version, but I'd poked myself in the eye trying to get a contact lens out, and it was so painful that I couldn't really concentrate. So I just had 2 hours of Taylor Swift just consoling me while my eye was throbbing. The second time I thought, it's Taylor Swift and she's massively popular, an artist of our times. So I should probably listen to the album. I wasn't listening to the full anthology version again. I listened to the standard version. Much preferred it when it's just the standard version. But it's not a great album. It's an average album. This is a very average song from that average album. Is there any point in Post Malone even being here?
Oh, don't get me started. Look, I weirdly don't mind Taylor Swift. I don't mind. I never actively go out seeking her music. But some of the songs I've heard on the radio, like I like that. Look what you made me do. I think that slaps. I even like that. I love that song. I don't know why. What's her first big single? It's the
Shake It Off.
I love Shake It Off. I like that song.
Shake It Off. Right. It's
great
fine.
song.
Apart from that cringy spoken word bit.
I even like that bit because my girlfriend loves that bit. So when she does it, it makes me smile because I know how lame it is. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't mind Taylor Swift. I shouldn't. Everything about her, all her music is the sort of stuff I would like, but I don't mind it for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm like Post Malone.
Yeah.
He's another guy who I really should actively pursue a bit more because I just liked every song I heard by him. I just really, really enjoyed. And he seems like a great guy, to be honest.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I had £1 million Magic the Gathering card, just rules. You heard about that?
No.
So I'm a big Magic the Gathering guy, and they had a Lord of the Rings set come out. So you can buy the cards for Frodo on it or Samwise Gamgee or whatever. But there's one card just called The One Ring, and there's only one ever printed. And he bought it because the guy pulled it out of the boost back. I think I can't remember if it was $1 million or $2 million. And Post Malone just bought it off him for that much money. That's mad, isn't it? That's just for cards. But yeah, so I love the I love the guy. But like you said, this song is just, let's go with Alan Partridge, Moribund.
Yeah, it's
nothing
not
to it.
It really doesn't.
But she was doing her verse, and I was like, oh, it's all right. It's a bit boring. The chorus, I was like, it's not that good. Oh, there's some backing vocals. That must be Post Malone. And he must do the second verse then. And I was looking forward to that. Nothing. And I'm like, and then he just did another verse, had another chorus, and ended. I was like, was that it? This is like this high up in the charts. It just shows that name value is enough to get the listen sometimes. And I think this is one of those times. And I've got nothing against either artist. I'm sure the album's has some better songs in it.
It does. Yeah, it does.
But wow, how boring.
It's very slight, isn't it? And I think the thing about this song, it's about the relationship that she had with Matty Healy from the 1975. And the whole concept is that they had about a 2-week relationship, which is why it's called Fortnite. Although I also think it's called Fortnite because that is also a popular video game. That probably
might help, yes.
But yeah, it's called Fortnite. She spent 2 weeks in this relationship with Matty Healy. And then is presumably a lot of the tracks on the album are also about him. You got that awful line about a tattooed golden retriever. And then there's the lines about liking Charlie Puth and thinking he's underrated. There's some really naff lyrics on this album. And it's disappointing because Taylor Swift is normally she's quite a clever lyricist. She doesn't usually waste many words. This album is too long and she's had to fill it with nonsense. But I think the weakest element of this song is Jack Antonoff's production. I think they're starting to, because he's making all the songs at the moment, and they're just getting more and more boring. Something like Midnights last year, there's some decent tunes on that. But yeah, they're getting worse and worse. It's getting weaker. She needs to do something new.
I think what made her popular was almost like, it was quite girly sort of power pop, wasn't it? It was like girly pop music. It was like
country as well. Got country elements to it.
Well, yeah, country elements as well. But it's just there was a sort of an upbeat sort of you go girl vibe, isn't it? And with that, you want it to sound poppier, and you want it to sound a bit more. I don't know what the word would be for it, but it's just like you say. It's just you listen to this and you think there's not really any. There's just nothing to it.
Yeah,
like,
it's
nothing.
Not heartbreaking.
The lyrics aren't strong enough to carry it. The chorus isn't strong enough to carry it. Post Malone, they just gave him his $500,000, or it will give you 2% on the royalties for this song just to come in and do backing vocals on the chorus. If you did tell me it's Post Malone, I wouldn't have known it was him.
Yeah, because of the condensed nature of his appearance, I think this is not Post Malone. This is Post-it Malone.
Yeah. This screams of he recorded it in a different room across the country.
Yeah, phoned in Malone.
Yes.
But yeah, I like Post Malone. I listened to Beer Bongs and Bentleys the other week. It's a good album, and he's a funny guy. He seems to have a good personality. He's a positive role model for the most part. And again, Taylor Swift fits most of those molds as well. I think she's a positive role model, a good lyricist, seems like an interesting character. But this is just not the one. This is just not Taylor Swift's moment in the sun. This is not the best thing Post Malone's ever done. And
I bet she'll release another album, a song off this album, and it'll do better, or it'll be better.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't even need to release it. The amount of people that will listen to album tracks meant that if we'd done this last week, I think 8 out of the top 10 tracks were just songs from her album.
So this is the people's favourite off that then. It must be the name of Post Malone.
I think it is. This is a single, so it has been released as a single. It seems that the album tracks have dropped off. But yeah, I can't see why this is the single. There's better songs on the album than this. The one with Florence and the Machine is Florida. That's okay. There's some better tracks towards the latter half of the album that are okay. But this one does nothing for me.
Another thing I like about Post Malone, this is a bit random, but another reason why this kind of rules. Okay, me and my girlfriend's guilty pleasure viewing is Ghost Adventures. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh, I have heard of Ghost Adventures.
Shout out to Aaron, Ghost Adventures, you rule. But I don't believe in ghosts at all. I completely 100% don't agree with it. But I like horror films, and I like to suspend my disbelief whilst I watch these 4 idiots try and prove ghosts are real. And there's an episode where Post Malone is on it. And I'm like, what? Because I'm watching it just like, that's fucking Post Malone? What? How random. He's the most random dude, man. I just love him.
Yeah.
It just seems like a genuinely cool bro, so that's it.
Yeah, he'll always get a listen from me, but in this case, this is not the best example of either artist, so I think we'll move on, shall we?
Yes, let's.
In at number 4 is another one we've talked about before. This is Benson Boone with Beautiful Things. And again, another artist that I don't know a lot about. I've listened to this song more, as I have with Teddy Swims' Lose Control. And again, this has grown on me. I like it even more than I did last time. I really like the way the song is structured and how it changes up to introduce that refrain. The please stay. Yeah,
That's pretty good. That's better I could do. I see I'm doing my low voice. Please stay. This is one of those songs where, okay, so I've listened to this song like every bloody day for 3 months and work. So I'm so far past fed up of this song. But he starts off doing the Mumford, doesn't he? But then he changes it to a big chorus. So I've got to give a guy props for that. Like the chorus is catchy. It's all right. I do hate this song. I just need to clarify. I fucking loathe this song every part of me. But I can't deny why people would like it. Yeah, it's all right. It's fine. But yeah, it's still a good chorus. It was saved by a very good chorus because when you first start listening, you're like, oh, this is it. I've heard this song before. But
yeah, I think I'm going to refine the thumb rating scale for this one because I'm going to introduce what's known as the glum thumb. But the glum thumb is when you give it a thumbs up, but you don't really like giving it a thumbs up. And the reason for this is because this is such a Hollyoaks omnibus song where something dramatic will happen in something like Hollyoaks, and they'll be like, find out who murdered Stacy's baby, and they'll use this to be the big lead up trailer. It's absolutely perfect for that kind of thing.
This is perfect Channel 4 advert music.
Yeah, Channel 4 advert music. It's not John Lewis advert. It's an upgrade from that. But it is very much, it's a glum thumb because it pains me a little bit that I enjoy it. I maybe I'm a secret Hollyoaks fan. I don't know.
This is totally a Love Island advert song. This got Love Island written all over in this one.
I don't know. It's got maybe too much guitar for Love Island.
I'm pretty certain the band I listened to yesterday did the covers, did this song, and those girls in the beer garden, they were in. They enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And they loved it.
Yeah. We have discussed this one, so we will move on to get on to number 3. Number 3 is another American artist. This is another country act, Shaboozey. He was featured on Beyonce's album, so again, it's another consequence of the popularity of Miss Carter at the moment. But this one's quite good. It's called a bar song, Tipsy. The parentheses of Tipsy means that it is actually a interpolation of Jaquan's 2004 hit, Tipsy. Everybody at the club getting tipsy. I mean, that's a great song. But that, again, prime men in their mid-30s remembering 20 years ago when that was a big club hit, when we were at university.
To go back.
So of course that song has super nostalgia for us. And I quite like this, though. I like the way because normally it goes the other way, doesn't it? Normally you have an old-timey country song that gets turned into a hip-hop chorus. But they've turned the hip-hop song into a country song. But, yeah, I can anticipate you're already going to say the amount of lyrical cliches and country content is ludicrous. It is just pouring out of every line.
God, this is...
It's written by a team And you can tell it was designed to hit certain metrics on this one. But I don't mind the end product. Maybe it's getting another glum thumb. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's fine. It's a fun song. It's pretty catchy chorus. And yeah, it's just weird pop country, which is just a genre I just can't get my head around. Well, I can. It's just so generically. How can you describe the lyrics to this, but not describe every country song that's been released in the last 3 years? It's just the same music. It's just it's fine. He talks about whiskey and trucks and stuff. What do you say to that? I think it's better than a Beyonce song.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you.
So now I know how he's famous, and but so is country just massive at the moment? Then is this just something I missed that happened in the last year?
It seems to be, because Beyonce has done a country album. Shabuzi is featured on that album. He's been around for a while, but his first successful single was from Spider-Man into the Universe, or whatever it's called. Not a big superhero movie. Into the Spider-Verse, or whatever it is. The animated one. I haven't seen it either, but everybody goes on about it all the time, so it's probably something I should check out. But yeah, apparently Shabuzi had a single on that soundtrack, and then of course collaborated with Beyonce. Has this song out here, which has mainstream appeal with the fact that it refers to another old hit. Good. It's not amazing. It's too, as you say, it's got too many of the same old shit in the lyrics for me to really love it. So yeah, another difficult one to talk about, because where is this country invasion coming? It's coming from America, but
it's always been huge there. But to somehow get to the UK, because because I get in America why it's popular. They all like trucks, they all like country, and they probably have. There's a lot of white trailer trash. There's a lot of Southerners who just love this shit. Fair enough, but when it makes it over the pond to here, where all of the references are just a bit lost.
Yeah,
I don't get it. It just baffles me. I like that some people like country music, but I've never met them here. I don't know any country fans in England.
No, not really. There obviously are some. And I don't hate on country. There's some stuff that's fine, but it just seems to be every now and again there's like an American phenomenon that does well over here. I even remember in the 90s when Emmerdale had their song that was in the charts that was something to do with line dancing, which was the most cringe thing I can think of. And I'm actively turning inside out as I think about it. But there was the whole Shania Twain thing in 1999 as well, when she became
The Witch. Did they have a bit of a line dancing feel?
The Witch was more of an Irish. That was more of an Irish thing.
It's not that different when you really think about it.
No, it's not actually. The Irish folk music and country do share some similarities, but it always astounds me. It's the same as when Billy Ray Cyrus was a thing in around the same time as Emmerdale did their thing. Yeah, really strange when it happens, because it feels so. It feels like everybody's trying to be a culture vulture. Everybody becomes Drake at this point. They're just stepping into a culture that they're not really a master of. It's just weird. It'll go away very quickly, I imagine. I hope so. Let's not be sat here in months' time still talking about country songs, because I don't know how much I could bring to the table.
There's one thing I've noticed has gone, actually. We're talking about like staples of music, which you're like, oh, bloody hell, I can't believe it's still going. But there's one thing I have said, like in trap and stuff, have you noticed, I think Bobby Shmurda did a lot of it as well, but you know the cheeping, like the bird cheeps? When they're like, that was massive for like 2 years. What was that about?
Don't know.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
No,
it still goes on a lot. I actually listened to DS2, which is a Future album from 2015, because people have been raving about it. I didn't really enjoy it that much, but there are a couple of tracks. There's a banger called Groupies on it. And it's just all over it. Like all trap music from the mid 2010s. There was loads of like random little sounds, but then I guess is it really that much different to Michael Jackson doing his he and Prince's
but no, it is different, because only they did that.
Yeah, I suppose.
About like 100 artists that just apparently just really got into bird conservation or something. I don't know what it was. They just got really into it. It's so strange, isn't it? Like, and they're not doing it ironically. They think it's cool, and I'm just like, it's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I mean, it was
Still
better
clinging
than
on. Kendrick's still clinging on to it. They're still clinging on to that. But
yeah, the Drake and the Kendrick songs have got long sections where they're all like, whoa, whoa. Yeah, so some owls around. The owls are not what they seem on those tracks.
when is the first person that did it?
I don't know. I'll have to do some research and maybe
Well,
I'll
a
do
whole
a
episode
video.
based on the bird chirping.
Bird calls in music. Some of the best ones, right? Top 10 bird calls in music.
Oh, my, was funny.
I don't think it counts, but Funkadelic did pterodactyl sounds in a few of their songs. So it's like, those are good.
That sounds awesome. Okay, I feel like we're digressing ways too far from what.
Yeah, this isn't even a hip hop song that we're talking about, but that was Shabuzi with country hit.
Yeah, go listen to it if you like country music, I guess.
We'll move on to another artist who's not a hip hop artist. In fact, this is some Irish folk, although it's got a lot more blues to it. This is Hosier, who's around with another single. I remember his big debut 10 years ago now, Take Me to Church. But Hosier's got a new song out called Too Sweet from the EP of the same name. It already got to number 1. It's been on the chart for 7 weeks. Last week it was a number 3. A lot of the songs seem to get a go at number 1 these days. This one's already had its time, so we're seeing it as it's dwindling now. But I quite like this. This is another good song in the charts. It's got strong vocals. It's quite short, but it's strong pop structure, good guitar, good backing music. It's produced well. It sounds deep and heavy. It's got a bit of grit to it. And yeah, I like his vocals. So, Al, what are your thoughts?
Well, this one here gets a non-fun for me. Not necessarily because I think it's a bad song. I just think it's all right. Actually, like I said, all those things are true. And I think I really like the bass line. That obviously is the hook, and it's a cool bass line. I like any song where it's got a strong bass line as the hook. The production on it's amazing. My only downside for this song is I feel like the second it starts to the second it ends, it doesn't change any level of feel on it. I don't feel like I saw the music video, and in the music video, they're like he's playing to a festival or something. And they're all like, oh, wow. And they're all jumping around the stage looking like they're really into it. But the song itself doesn't translate that. It's actually quite subdued for a sort of rock pop song, isn't it? I felt like there needs to be just a little extra. Just give me a slightly stronger chorus. Maybe the appeal is the chorus is quite subdued, like the verses. But I personally just have a hard time with that because I literally, right now, so I listened to it about an hour ago, I couldn't tell you what this song sounds like other than the bass line. I have no idea what the chorus sounds like. I couldn't tell you. I'd have to listen to it again. So I can't say it's a bad song. I did quite enjoy it when I listened to it, but it's also incredibly unremarkable for me.
Yeah, it is a little bit unremarkable. It's no Take Me to Church.
I totally get why people like the song, but it's just not there for me. It was missing to just a level of catchiness that I just feel like was needed. I don't know. It's hard to. Literally, I said I can't remember the song. Literally can't remember it. So how am I talking about?
Yeah, I'm struggling.
How does the chorus go right now? You tell me. How does it go?
No, I don't know.
No idea. That's it.
I like it more than you do, but not enough to be able to recall it right now.
I remember liking it. I remember thinking, oh, this is quite good. Oh, that's a good bass line. But it's just, it always starts off like a sort of a cool, like indie song from back in the day with better vocalists. And you go, what's this going to do? Oh, it's going to be cool. And then the chorus is just nothing. It's just all right. Come on.
The idea of what it was building to is probably better than what you actually end up with, because it sounds like there's going to be a bit more song structure there and it's going to go somewhere, but it ultimately doesn't. So you can see why it's a hit single, because it follows the 2-minute TikTok formula. But if you're looking for something a little bit more substantial than that, it's not really got it, is it?
No, but I'm finding out a lot of these songs. There's definitely a lack.
We're looking at the top 10, so we open my expectations to. I'm not going to find a song that's going to. Actually, no, that's not true, because I really like that $1 Million Baby track. So something can blow my mind. But
we're two guys in their mid-30s. One of them who actually knows what he's talking about, and the other one, me, who is completely out of his depth on any of these songs. We're discussing songs which teenagers enjoy for 5 seconds. That's what we're judging.
Making thumb related puns.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's fine. This is in the maybe my top 5 of this list.
Of the 10. Full path. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not bad. I don't love it. It's fine. It's fine. If you like it, good for you.
Yeah. I again, it's one of those where it's probably going to be in the charts for a while. So I'm sure we'll revisit our thoughts on this one in a few weeks' time, I imagine.
This is actually one of those songs that you'd enjoy more you listen to it. The more you listen to it, you'll probably enjoy it more. I think that's the song will work better for that just because it will become catchy in time. But as just a one-off listen, I listened to about 3 or 4 times, it just wasn't quite there.
Number 1. And this one was number 1 last week. So it's second week at number 1 for Sabrina Carpenter with Espresso. Sabrina Carpenter, former Disney child star, has had a bit of a feud, shall we say, with Olivia Rodrigo, because many people believe that Driver's License, her first single, was about Sabrina Carpenter taking her man. From what I can gather, Sabrina Carpenter, it was like they were already broken up thing. So she's got a lot of unwarranted hatred, but she seems to be doing okay for herself. She's got a habit of saying quite strange lyrics and doing these strange ad-libs. I saw her at Coachella doing that kind of thing, which seems to have gained a lot of popularity. People like her quirky personality. I watched a music video for this because obviously, and it's all done with a wink and a nod. It's very on the nose. She's very aware of her reputation. I quite like her. This single doesn't really do a lot for me. You would think that this would be right up my street because it's funky, laid back. But I don't really like the mix on it. It sounds very murky and like a little bit muddy for a funk song. I'm not really sure it's mixed great. The vocal's catchy, but there's really not a lot to it. And it just, for me, ultimately sounds like a second-rate version of Calvin Harris's Feels that came out a few years ago.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, honestly, for me, this is the sort of song I'd expect from Taylor Swift. It's
a little bit more. It's a little bit more disco tinge than Taylor Swift would really do.
I suppose so. But you know that right level of pop, like for like a female pop star. This isn't generic, it's not. But you could tell me 10 female artists at the moment who are around and very popular. If you told me like Ariana Grande made this, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay. I don't know.
This is Ariana Grande coded. She could have done this song, and it wouldn't sound that much different, I don't think. Yeah. Sabrina Carpenter has a good voice. She's definitely selling what she's doing. She had a hand in writing the song, so she's got talent. Don't know what makes her so exceptional from the rest of the pack that she's going to make a massive name of herself. Because if you've got people like Taylor Swift who are already selling billions and streaming billions and billions of songs, I don't know how you step into that market. What is she offering that's different?
Well, the good thing is people can listen to more than one song, not I say. She's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
I think, to be honest, this isn't my sort of music, but if it was, I'd probably give it a thumbs up. It's fine. This is, for me, what I want in pop music. This is what pop music is to me. You want artists who do these sort of songs where it's catchy, a bit tongue-in-cheek, it's supposed to be fun. You've got, just to be honest, good-looking women dancing in it. Hey, nice in the music video. This is what I expect from. In my head, as a guy who doesn't listen to any music in the charts, purely for this podcast, this is in my head what pop music should sound like. This is what pop music is. And I'm pleasantly surprised a lot of the music isn't like this because I like some of the stuff a lot more. But it's fine. It's a good song. I see why it's number 1. I can see why people like it. It's just. It's fine.
I agree with you there. I can see why it got to number 1. It's just got that right shade of cheeky, isn't it? And it's a bit sexy, a bit sultry. I like it in that sense. But as a song for me, if you put it side by side up against, say, Dua Lipa's Training Season,
that was better.
It falls short of that. Yeah. So as like a funk production, it's not amazing, but it's like a 6 out of 10 for me. I'll give it a none thumb. It's not amazing.
I'm too cynical because sorry to interrupt you, but I'm so cynical because I didn't know that about she had beef with, what's the name, sorry? Beef with...
It's not beef, Olivia Rodrigo. It's not beef. It's manufactured beef by the fans because they all thought this song was about her stealing her man, but it turns out they'd broken up and that...
Because I wouldn't be surprised if this was number 1 because of that.
It's not the law
stuff like
to
that.
it.
Stuff
Yeah,
like that.
people are
Yeah,
all
there's a
about-
backstory. If there's some lore, like you said, if you've got that, it's going to bump up 2 spots easy.
I'm a sucker enough to have taken that in and sort out that information. Apparently, I care about what's going on with all the pop divas at the moment. That seems to be something that, that I'm knowledgeable about. And
Has she been
I don't
around
even
for a
know
while?
how I get that information.
Never heard of her.
No, she's not. She was on a couple of Disney shows. I don't ask me which ones off the top of my head. I haven't watched, obviously, Disney Channel in over
Ask
20
Drake.
years. Yeah, Drake will know. He's been sliding in those DMs, but so she must have been what? So Olivia Rodrigo's been releasing music for about 3 or 4 years. So I think Sabrina Carpenter's been around about for the same time, but she hasn't really had a big hit yet. I think this is where she's starting to achieve that success, whereas before it's just been related to Disney movies and things like that, I think. I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, I have some other things to do with my time than just watch videos about Olivia Rodrigo and Sabrina Carpenter. But,
Got that
yeah.
X-Files box, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah, got that together. Another thing that I did listen to, this is relevant, I mentioned her. I did listen to Dua Lipa's album.
Okay.
And whilst Training Season is much better than this, the rest of the album's a little bit underwhelming. So I don't know if you're going to have to listen to that at the end of the year. It's not as good as the last record. Sabrina Carpenter doesn't have an album out yet. This is a standalone single, but you know it's coming. So I don't know. Maybe that'll be good. Before we wrap up, I had thought of a segment in which we can end the show on, because I've been made familiar with the idea that, and this has been going around on TikTok, that any song can improve the end credit sequence from Predator.
Okay.
Of these 10 songs, Al, which one are you using as the end theme to Predator? You know the credit sequence I'm talking about, when they all the cast in being counted. Apart from Marnie, apart from Marnie,
acknowledging the camera.
They just use a stock image of him, but everyone else is.
Oh God, that's a tough one.
The obvious one is the Kendrick Lamar "Not Like Us."
Probably, I'm just going to take the Artemis song. I like the way you kiss me, just because I just love that song.
Yeah, you.
It's just completely out of place. It just makes no sense. I love the way you kiss me. They're turning with the like Gatling guns.
Sabrina Carpenter would be quite amusing. In fact, I'm probably going to spend the afternoon now just playing the Predator credit sequence with these songs in their stead, which will be quite good fun. I would implore people watching at home to do the same. Have a go. Let us know in the comments below what you think would be the ideal Predator outro based on these songs.
Did we ever share that video I made of the Limp Bizkit?
Yes.
Limp Bizkit opening credits.
Yeah, that is attached to one of the end of our episodes. Segue into remembering to check out all our old episodes. Go to cacophonysessions.com. Thanks for the seamless link there, Al. You made the segue sound beautiful.
Pro.
Yeah. Check us out on social media. Al, what are you going to leave us with?
Just thank you everyone for listening. I found out recently that my girlfriend's mum and sister listened to the last one, so I'm really regretting the wank on the couch references. So it was pretty rough when they were telling me how they enjoyed the first one. Yeah, if you're listening, Deb, sorry. I'm not with that scene. Listen to Foreign Voices. Check out my band, Why Lizard Fly. Check out Dan's OnlyFans.
Only Dan.
It's just him reading Shakespeare in his pants.
Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. Yeah, stay tuned. We're going to relaunch the Patreon soon, and that's coming. We'll be back with more videos. I'm working on quite a bit at the moment. Let us know in the comments below what you want to hear from us in the future. We'll be back in a few weeks' time to discuss the next chart. But until then, make sure you stay funky.
Yes, do that. Stay funky.
All the time. Funky.
Not too
Bye.
funky. You can go too far.